My question basically has something to do with what you said about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I actually had another question in mind, but when you said that, like, I think I need to ask another question because in Dumaguete right now, in Negociental, we've, we've been through a lot of political crisis lately. The
Yes.
murders and so on and so
Yes.
forth. But this thing that happened this year, actually, everybody knows this. This was a long time in coming. People were talking about this secretly. But nobody was writing about this because there was such a huge fear in the community if we wanted to talk about it publicly. And actually, every time I would post something about it on Facebook before, I always would get private messages in Facebook, don't say anything because we don't want you to die. And in Dumaguete, we've had so many journalists who have been killed already. So there is always a danger. So my question is, how do we, how do we break through that fear in a community, especially a small one like Dumaguete, to speak out when there really is imminent danger?
Well, first, thank you for your courage. This has come to us in many different ways, right? And as a journalist, the hard part there is if you have somebody who is willing to step forward, you want to try to help make sure that they're protected. And if you're the journalist, you want to make sure that you have enough resources to make sure you can keep going. Having said that, what we've found is that these stories need to be told because they will always inevitably erupt. And so, what's the way to do it? Communities, 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 right? So the first step, my gosh, it's kind of how Rappler survived, right? How were we able to survive? Even though there was such a heavy atmosphere of fear, people were supporting us behind the scenes. Our legal fees escalated beyond anything we could have paid. And so many, I think the best lesson I ever got during that time period was the generosity of strangers. And I don't mean just money. Right? People put themselves on the line. And there are many more stories that are out there. Like, they come to us, and so if you know it, right, and yeah, you know, I'm always the person that they'll file the case again, so I should be careful what I say. But you go to Glenda. No, let me do it this way. You have to choose your battle. You have to choose your team going into battle, and you have to be ready for the worst. We've done these stories. We can keep doing the stories. I think you cannot do it alone.